Welcome to Casual Commander. 15 players, 5 teams battling for prizes, cards, bragging rights, and ultimately, the Casual Commander titles and crown. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Casual Commander, the most immersive Magic the Gathering show on the planet. In the year 3033, the world is only left with 2 separate but equal groups, the vampires and the clowns. These are their stories. Chung Chung. Clowns are still creepy. Thank you, Stephen King. Ladies and gentlemen, MTG Casual Commander presents Quad GGGGG and Mozo. Mozo the Clown.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MTG Casual Commander. Wow, time travel never gets easier. My name is Quad G.
And I'm Mozo the announcer. Ronald has the night off.
We have a great game for you tonight. We have Tyler, Peanut, and Tom Ass battling it out tonight in our Bant matchup.
First up, we have Peanut, but this guy is also known as Adam or P. Nizzle. Peanut is our house veteran and also a 3rd degree black belt in Drunken Master Magic.
Hi everyone, my name's Adam. Everybody calls me Peanut, and I've been playing Magic since 5th edition, about. So over 25 years. I should probably be better at it than I actually am. So I really, really don't like green. I just think green's gotten to the point where it just gets to do everything, and I think people use it as a crutch to, I can always fix my mana, and I can always draw cards, and it's just really, really frustrating. I would say my favorite commander to play is my Dragon Lord Ojute deck. Because of the way I constructed it to always keep him untapped at all times so I can always effectively keep him protected. And then my most powerful commander deck would probably be my Lazav deck. It's blue, black, mill, whoever you want to mill, and then a lot of kill stuff, and then I make copies of your stuff. It's a lot of other people really dislike that deck. You know, when people are shit-talking me, I just kind of roll with it. You know, I'll poke some jabs at myself, you know, and take some of the bite out of it. I mean, I know when I'm not playing well, so it doesn't really matter to me. I just roll with it, and I'd probably start shit-talking myself. You know, I'm not going to let you get all the enjoyment out of it. If I'm sucking, I know I suck. That's not a problem. The most annoying thing people do at the table is the card flickers. I hate the people that are always constantly shifting their cards and flicking their cards and doing this stuff. It's just really, really grates on me. Let's play some Magic.
Next, we have Tom, but he also goes by Tom Ass and Tommy Knockers. One time, Tom created a time machine just so he could jump back and invent the evil goatee.
So, I'm Tom. People call me Tom Ass. Been playing Magic since I was, about 17. So, way too long. If I had to pick a color in Magic that I have a dislike of, it'd probably be blue. Just not my style. It's too janky, not as fun. Rather run some green, big stompy, simple, straightforward. My most fun deck to play for me is probably gonna be my Marin of Clan Nel Toth, Graveyard Recursion. I just find it a lot of fun. It's actually the only commander deck I have that I built back from the old 60 card days. Most powerful deck I probably have would be my Captain Sisay 5-color Planeswalker deck. The turns that take forever drive me nuts, and not because they take forever. It's It takes so long for people to make up their minds. Don't spend 5 minutes making a decision. You've got everybody else's turn to think about what you're going to do. Why is it taking you 5 minutes? Let's get this going so I can start accumulating some wins.
Last but not least, we have Tyler, also known as Tiki Ty and Baby Ty Spice. Tyler is a quiet guy, but don't let that fool you. His sneaky mime-style move will cripple even the best Magic players.
My name is Tyler White. I started playing Magic when I was in 6th grade in Ottawa, Canada, during class at a Catholic school. So I've been playing on and off for about 20 years. The color I like playing the most is black. I like the tutors. I like the graveyard recursion. I like what black does. Board wipes. Can't stand board wipes. I don't hate any one single color, but I hate Simic. Simic is the one color combination that I think has everything you need to have a successful game. And I like working for stuff a little bit more. The most fun deck I think I have fun, or I'd like to play, is probably my Gitrog monster. It's also my favorite deck, the one that I think is the strongest. I don't have the infinite combos in it, but it still does what Gitrog does, and it's a lot of fun to play. The most irritating thing that I think happens in a game of Magic is board wipes. Unless a board wipe is going to help you win the game right then and there, or one person is that far ahead, I just board wipes. Let's get this game going.
In conclusion, our Bant 1 lineup is Tyler, piloting his Muldrotha the Gravetide deck. Peanut will be manning his Adrax and Nev Twincasters deck. And Tom is still going to be Tom, but this time using his Queen Marchesa deck.
So here at Casual Commander, we always have a commander of the day based on our game colors for today. With today being Bant, we got a green-white-blue matchup. Our commander of the day is going to be Falco Spara, the Pact Weaver.
Commander of the day is Falco Spara, Pact Weaver, Legendary, Bird, Demon, Flying, Trample. Falco Spara, Pact Weaver enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may cast spells from the top of your library by removing a counter from a creature you control, in addition to paying their other costs.
Now, we also normally do a word of the day, but today we're going to do another little game. It's called Clown or Vampire.
And as was mentioned before, we're clowns from the future. And in the future, clowns are very serious. So this is a fun game we play in our spare time, trying to avoid the vampires.
So let the battle begin. Clowns or vampires?
Clown. Vampire.
Yeah, that's a vampire, all right.
Ooh, clown. Clown. Well, another vampire. Ooh, look at the eyes. Vampire.
That's a clown. Hey, that's a clown. Vampire?
Vampire.
That's a vampire.
Oh, vampire all day.
Good call. Vampire.
Definitely vampire.
Clown.
Ooh, clown.
Yep, that's a clown. And that guy is a vampire for sure. Ooh, a clown.
Clown.
Ooh, that's a clown. That's definitely a clown. Ooh, what's this one?
Vampire.
Vampire.
Hey, that's my mother.
And finally, that guy is a vampire.
So as was mentioned before, we're clowns from the future, and in the future, things are very serious. Clowns are warring with the vampires, and this is a fun game we play, as much as fun is fun, identifying the clowns and the vampires while we war with the vampires.
All right. Circus crew representing. Let's get back to this game.
I mean, the little piece of paper on the ground isn't going to obstruct my view.
Here at MTG Casual Commander, we decide who goes first based on the roll of a 20-sided die.
12.
And Thomas has rolled the high with 12, Tyler with 2, and Peanut with 1.
So I guess 12 goes first.
Yeah. I think 12 is higher.
It would seem that way.
And we better let these guys get off to the shuffle and cut.
Let's see what happens with it.
Well, you're going first, so.
Alright. So, draw my card. I will start by playing a Shine Shadow Snarl into play tapped because I do not have a swamp or an island to reveal from my hand. And I will pass the turn.
Draw for turn. I'm going to play a Darkmoor Pathway. I'm going to tap that for a Skull Clamp.
Skull Clamp. Artifact. Equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/-1. When equipped creature is put into a graveyard, draw 2 cards. Equip 1/1. Attached to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery.
And Tyler with the skull clamp right off the bat.
That's not okay.
Wow, is that guy cheating or what?
I will play a Temple of Mastery tapped, and I will scry 1 because it says I can. And I will leave that on top, I believe. Now I will say go.
Untap. I will draw. I will play a command tower as my land for the turn. Then I will pay 2 mana for a pair of Trailblazers boots.
Trailblazers boots. Artifact. Equipment. It's much easier to list the places they haven't been. Equipped creature has non-basic land walk. It's unblockable as long as a defending player controls a non-basic land. Equip 2.
And I will say go.
Trailblazers boots.
Tap my land for turn. Draw a card. I'm going to play a Misty Rainforest. I'm going to tap it for 1 life. And go search for a basic island. And then I'm going to use that basic island and the Darkmoor Pathway to make it go faster. I'm going to play a Baleful Strix.
Ooh, spicy.
Baleful Strix. Artifact creature. Bird. Its beak rends flesh and bone, exposing the tender marrow of dream. Flying Death Touch. When Baleful Strix enters the battlefield, draw a card.
So,
And then you'll be able to draw a card after
yep.
all of that is all done with.
Basic island.
Fancy.
And Tyler is going to go after the extra card draw this game. That's at least what it's looking like this far.
Basic island in here. There we go. Alright. And then quick shuffle. I will pass the turn.
Alright, I will untap. Draw my card for the turn. Ooh, I wonder what that is. And I will play a forest for the turn. And I will say go.
I will untap. I will draw.
Oh, he's going to play that penis tower.
I will play a Reliquary Tower as my land for the turn.
Penis Tower!
And then I'm going to tap black, and 1. And I will play a Phyrexian Arena.
Phyrexian Arena. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card, and you lose 1 life. A spark of resistance against a tide of corruption.
I heard that's a good card.
It is a pretty good card. I like drawing cards. That's how you get the other good cards.
Yep.
Alright.
You can go after that.
Alright. Untap. I'm going to draw. I will play a swamp for my turn. I am then going to tap 2. Play. It gets +1/+1 for each creature card in my graveyard. I don't have any. And then I can sacrifice another creature and search my library for a card. Mana cost X or less to put that onto the battlefield. I'm then going to... Tom, I will attack you with my Baleful Strix for 1.
I will take 1.
And then I'm going to equip my Skull Clamp to my Baleful Strix. And then kill my Baleful Strix. And draw 2 cards. And I'll pass turn.
Alright, so I have nothing to untap, so I will draw my card. I will lay a land and we'll play a Garruk's Uprising.
Garruk's Uprising. Enchantment. When Garruk's Uprising enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample. They can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker they're attacking. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card.
And then I will say go.
And it looks to me like Peanut laid the wrong card down right there.
I will
Oh, sorry,
untap my
that's
turn.
not the card that I played. I played Garruk's Uprising. We'll fix that in post.
I will untap. I'm going to lose 1 life to my Phyrexian Arena and then draw a card. And then I will draw my card for turn.
And it looks like Tom's willing to pay some life to get some extra draws this game.
I will play a Wasteland as my land for the turn.
Let's hope that Peanut can find some draw power too, so he doesn't get left behind on this episode.
I will pay 1, 2, and 3 for a Whisper Silk Cloak.
Whisper Silk Cloak. Artifact. Equipment. Equip creature is unblockable and can't be the target of spells or abilities. Equip 2. 2. Attach to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. This card comes into play unattached and stays in play if the creature leaves play.
And unfortunately, that's all I can do, so I will say go.
Untap my lands, draw a card. This time I'll play a forest out of my hand. Then I will tap 4. I'm going to play a Stonecoil Serpent.
Stone Coil Serpent. Artifact creature. Snake. Cast out of Garenbrig for his crimes, and or turned to Fey magic to fashion the perfect weapon for his revenge. Reach trample protection from multicolored. Stone Coil Serpent enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it.
So it's going to have 4 1/1 counters on it. It is reach, trample, and protection from multicolored. And Peanut, I'm attacking you.
4,
1.
1.
And it looks like Tyler's going to come out swinging with a little bitty death touch
Seemed
bird.
unnecessary.
That'll be my turn. I'll
Alright,
pass it
so
to
I'll untap, draw my card, and I will play my land for the turn, and I will just cast Adrix and Nev Twin Casters.
Adrix and Nev, Twin Casters, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard, Ward 2. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. If 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead.
And they do not have power 4 or greater, so that does not trigger my Garruk's Uprising. And then I will say go.
Alright. I will untap. I will lose 1 life from Phyrexian Arena and draw a card. And then I will draw a card for turn. And I will play a Valakut Stoneforge into play tapped. And then I will pay 1, 2, 3 for a Chromatic Lantern.
Chromatic Lantern. Artifact. Lands you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. By guild tradition, any puddle of multicolored light on the cobblestones can serve as neutral ground.
And unfortunately, I will pass the turn with no creatures still.
I feel you, man.
You have a creature.
Well, now, still some pretty fair magic going on right now. It's kind of suspicious.
Right.
I'm going to play a swamp. I'm going to tap that swamp for a soul ring.
There goes the fair magic.
Yep, right out the window. It is like turn 5.
And I'm going to tap an island and my soul ring for Secrets of the Dead.
Secrets of the Dead. Enchantment. The veil between the living and the dead is so very thin that the whispers of the ancients can finally be heard. Whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, draw a card.
Ooh, I like that card.
And then I'm going to tap my forest for a Willow Geist.
What does that do?
It is a 1/1 with trample. Whenever 1 or more cards leave my graveyard, I put a +1/+1 counter on Willow Geist. When Willow Geist dies, I gain life equal to its power.
Got it.
Awesome.
And Tom, you have no blockers, so I'm gonna come at you with a 4/4 Stonecoil Serpent.
Looks like Tyler's going to go ahead and swing at Tom.
Go get him, Tyler.
Alright, so I'll untap lands. Draw my card for the turn. Play my land. I will play Volo, Guide to Monsters. And so whenever I cast a creature spell that doesn't share a creature type with something on the battlefield or in the graveyard, I make a copy of it. And I will say go.
I think that these guys are just really, really lucky that they can sit down and play a fun game without having to worry about vampires.
Let's see what our players have to say.
Little slower start than I would have liked. A little sad I had to use the Valakut's Awakening as a land instead of grabbing more cards with it. But about to start being able to drop some creatures, get my commander out there, start getting some extra card draw out of it. So Monarch always makes the game go a little quicker. People are incentivized to attack because they want that card draw. So see where it goes from there.
So I'm feeling pretty good. I got out my Adrix and Nev, and then I got out my Volo. And Volo with Adrix and Nev it allows me to make tokens of things and then make more tokens. And so right now all I have to do is just kind of start making my tokens. And once that happens, then it's just going to start snowballing.
So there are several Clown Clone clans in the future, of which we belong to the circus crew.
The first 4 turns are going really well right now. My board's set up pretty strongly to get Muldrotha out soon and start benefiting from what's in my graveyard. I have a couple answers in my hand for some stuff going on. I don't know if I want to play them quite yet though, but the next few turns are going to be fun.
Well, Tyler's got that Stonecoil Serpent, and that's going to be a problem because protection from multicolor is always a big deal. Not going to be able to block with my commander on that one, which is unfortunate. And then Adrix and Nev can come out of nowhere, and he's got 1 creature, and the next turn he might have 5. So there's definitely some possibility with some things coming up. Got a couple answers in my hand. We'll see if they come into play or not. So
It's hard to determine whether you're dead or frozen when you're frozen. Most likely you're dead,
Or still frozen.
but you could be frozen. Most of you might still be frozen.
A couple concerns I have on the board right now is definitely having the Adrix and Nev Volo tandem out on Peanuts board, and the two unblockable artifacts out on Tom's board are kind of concerning as well.
I think the thing that concerns me the most right now is Tyler's Skull Clamp, because he's going to get so much value out of that card just by putting it on creatures, they die, and then he gets to draw 2 cards. And so that's kind of the thing that's worrying me the most right now.
I plan on getting my commander out, maybe doing some graveyard recursion, and getting some more cards in my hand the next couple turns to see if I can't come up with some answers for some things that are concerning me, and maybe get some value out there that'll push me ahead, give me a better chance at winning this game.
Clown Cash. It's way better than Clown Credit.
Yeah.
Let's get the next round going and get a better start happening, and hopefully I can start pulling ahead.
Let's get back to this. Let's do this.
I'm a clown, not a mime. I can talk anytime.
Show off.
All right.
Well, let's get back to the game.
Alright. So I'm going to untap. I'm going to lose a life from first arena. Draw a card. And then I will draw my card for turn. I will play a Myriad Landscape as my land for the turn. Then I'm going to pay a red, white, black, and 1 for Queen Marchesa.
Queen Marchesa. Legendary creature. Human assassin. Death touch. Haste. When Queen Marchesa enters the battlefield, you become the monarch at the beginning of your upkeep. If an opponent is the monarch, put a 1/1 black assassin creature token with death touch and haste onto the battlefield.
And when she enters the battlefield, I will become the monarch. And will then pay 1 and 2, and I will equip her to a Whisper Silk Cloak so that she has Shroud and cannot be blocked. Then I'm going to move to the end of my turn, and because I'm the monarch, I will draw a card and pass it to you.
Alrighty then. We'll untap what I got going on here. I'll draw for turn. Going to tap these 4 and then these 2, 6 total, to play my commander, Muldrotha the Gravetide.
Muldrotha, the Gravetide. Legendary creature. Elemental avatar. My child grew from rot and ruin, yet she bloomed. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. If a card has multiple permanent types, choose one as you play it.
I am then going to play my Misty Rainforest from my graveyard. That card is played from my graveyard. I get to put +1/+1 counter on my Willowgeist. I'm then going to crack the Misty Rainforest, taking 1 point of damage, to go get another basic item out of my deck. And that island I am going to use to cast Baleful Strix out of my graveyard. So after I shuffle, I will draw a card. Tom, I'm going to go to combat and attack you with my Stonecoil Serpent. It is a 4/4 with protection from multicolor.
I will take 4.
I become the monarch. Right, if you could go ahead, please. Thank you very much. I'm going to draw for Baleful Strix. And then I'm going to... Oh, I cast a spell from my graveyard, so I get to draw a card for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Then I'm going to pass the turn.
Alright, so I'm going to untap.
I am the monarch, so I draw for...
Alright, so I'll untap and draw a card. I'll miss a land drop, which kind of sucks. But I'll pay 2/4 for a Forgotten Ancient. And when he enters the battlefield, because I don't have any other elementals on the battlefield or in my graveyard, that will trigger Volo Guide to Monsters. So I'll get to create a token copy of my Forgotten Ancient. And because of Adrix and Nev, because I'm creating a token, I get to create twice that many tokens. So I'm going to have 2 token copies of Forgotten Ancient. So I will have 3 total Forgotten Ancients.
What is it, an 04?
It is an 03 that whenever a player casts a spell, I may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. And then at the beginning of my upkeep, I may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures.
Yeah, that's not great.
And then I will say go.
Alright, so untap all my lands. I'm going to lose 1 life from Phyrexian Arena, draw a card, and then draw my card for turn. I will play a Gemstone Caverns as my land for the turn. And then I will tap the Gemstone Caverns for a black and the Wasteland for a black because of Chromatic Lantern. And I will play a Gifted Aetherborn.
Gifted Aetherborn. Creature, Aetherborn Vampire. A few Aetherborn have discovered a way to sustain their own existences at the cost of an insatiable hunger for the life existence of other beings. Death Touch, Lifelink.
And I will put a +1/+1 counter on all 3 of my Forgotten Ancients. I should probably put it down.
And then I will pay 1 and 2 for a Talisman of Conviction.
Talisman of Conviction artifact. The sun banishes darkness every morning. I too will rise with such assuredness. Tap to add a waste, or tap to add 1 red or white mana. Talisman of Conviction deals 1 damage to you.
Then I will put a +1/+1 counter on all 3 of my Forgotten Ancients.
Yep, that happens. And I'm sorry, I missed a trigger because at my upkeep I was not the Monarch. I created a 1/1 black assassin creature token. This is not optional.
With Death Touch and Haste.
It is not the correct token, but that is the only assassin token I have, so ignore the text on it.
I also missed Willow Guys +1/+1 counter when I cast Baleful Strix.
And then I'm gonna pay 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These 3 will be tapped for red, and I will play a Court of Ire. And when Court of Ire enters the battlefield, I will become the Monarch.
And I will put a +1/+1 counter on all 3 of my Forgotten Ancients.
And at the beginning of my upkeep, Court of Ire will deal 2 damage to any target. If I am the Monarch, it deals 7 damage to that player or permanent instead.
Well, that sounds uncalled for.
And I will move to my end step, and because I'm the Monarch, I will draw a card. And I will pass it to Tyler.
No swingsies?
I need blockers. I'm at 27.
Alright, I'm gonna untap my lands, untap my Soul Ring. Well, my Stormcoil Server was supposed to be tapped. Alright. First thing I am going to do is I'm gonna play
my Misty Rainforest out of my graveyard, putting a +1/+1 round counter on Willowgeist. And I'm going to go search. I'm going to crack, sack, going down to 37. I'm going to search for a forest card. Put into play. You know what? Just to make this go by quicker, I'm going to search for a forest. I got mostly basics in here, unlike my sister.
Basic bitch.
Alright. Can you please cut me? Alright. My first spell I'm going to cast is going to be 2 swamps for a Dothy Voidwalker.
Dothy Voidwalker. Creature, Dothy Rogue. Shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with Shadow. If a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, instead exile it with a void counter on it. Tap, sacrifice Dothy Voidwalker. Choose an exiled card an opponent owns with a void counter on it. You may play it this turn without paying its mana cost.
And I will put a counter on all 3 of my Forgotten Ancients.
I am then going to tap a forest and a Soul Ring, and I'm going to play a Reclamation Sage.
Reclamation Sage. Creature, elf, shaman. What was once formed by masons, shaped by smiths, or given life by mages, I will return to the embrace of the earth. When Reclamation Sage enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment.
I'm going to destroy the Whisper Subcloak that's giving Marchesa Shroud.
Probably the right thing to do.
It goes into exile with a void counter on it because of Dothy Voidwalker. I am then going to I don't know if I want to do that. Well, here, I'll do this. I'm going to tap 1 island to equip my Skull Clamp to my Baleful Strix. Killing my Baleful Strix, drawing 2 cards.
So much value.
So
Just so much value.
Yeah.
the
Card is so good.
I am then what 5, holy cow. Then I'm going to tap black and a blue. I'm going to play Baleful Strix out of my graveyard.
And that'll
as
get a counter.
my creature. I'm going to draw a card from Secrets of the Dead. I'm going to draw a card from Baleful Strix. And I'm going to get a +1/+1 counter on my Willowgeist.
Oh my god. So much value.
7, 8, 9, 10. Alright.
Ha!
So
Discard down.
I have to discard cards.
Good.
So I'm going to discard a Demon's Disciple. I'm going to discard a Swamp. I'm going to discard a Gravebreaker Lamia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 cards in my hand. And I will pass turn.
Okay, so I will untap. And then at the beginning of my upkeep, I have 3 Forgotten Ancients that all have 6 counters on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 6 counters off of all 3 of them, and I'm going to put 16 +1/+1 counters on Adrix and Nev.
18.
18 +1/+1 counters on Adrix and Nev. And then I'll draw my card. And that has no counters on it now. Just for kicks, I'm gonna smash Tom ass with a 2020 trample.
I will throw a 2/3 Death Touch lifelink in front of it. Taking 17.
Shoot your shot, right?
And then I will gain 2 life, leaving me at 12.
17 damage.
Yep.
Yep. And that will also get exiled with a void counter on it.
And then I become the monarch.
Yeah.
That's not the monarch.
Oh. There you go.
And so I guess I'm just going to end my turn and draw a card.
Okay. I'm going to untap. And because I'm not the monarch, I will get a second assassin token. I will lose 1 life from Phyrexian Arena and draw a card, and then I will draw my card for turn. And I'm going to move to my end step. I have 8 cards in hand, but because I have a reliquary tower, I will not have to discard.
Yay, penis tower!
And I will pass the turn to Tyler.
Thank you very
I'm gonna
much.
keep saying it too.
I am going to untap all my lands and my soul ring. And I'm going to draw for turn. Alright. First things first, I'm going to tap and sacrifice my Dothi Voidwalker. I would like the cloak out of your exile pile, please. Alright, I'm going to tap my soul ring to put that onto my Muldrotha.
In response, I'm gonna repudiate and I'm gonna counter that activated ability of you equipping Muldrotha.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna rapid hybridization Muldrotha and you get a 3/3 frog lizard. So repudiate is counter target activated or triggered ability.
Yep. Alright. In
Rapid
response,
hybridization.
does it kill it?
Yeah. Smoke Muldrotha and you get a 3/3.
Is it destroy or...
Destroy target creature.
Okay.
It can't be regenerated. That creature's controller gets a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token.
In response to that, I'm going to minions return Muldrotha. When it dies, I return it to the battlefield under my control.
Fair enough. So you get a
Is
free
that
frog
flash
lizard.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know if I have a frog lizard in here.
In the future, all lizards are frog lizards.
Well,
Well, fucking A.
you, sir, get a 3/3 frog lizard.
Well, thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome,
gonna put that
I
over
guess.
here.
And in the future, all frogs
Well, shit.
are frog lizards.
I'm gonna play just the swamp out of my graveyard for my land for turn.
Did you cast any other spells this turn?
I've cast
Frog lizards, the
Um,
chicken of the swamp.
just the one spell.
Okay, so that's the one counter on the Forgotten Nature.
Alright, I have 5 mana. I am going to... Actually, I will go to combat.
And
I had a
cast
response to your
spells,
combat steps.
So it's actually 3
I'm going
counters.
to pay white,
I played
white,
2 spells.
1 and 2. And I'm going to play Master Warcraft.
Okay.
And that'll be
And I get to choose which creatures attack this turn and which creatures block this turn.
Okay.
Tyler, you are going to attack with all of your creatures.
Okay.
And I'm assuming I'm not blocking any of them?
I do not get to choose where he attacks.
Oh.
I choose which creatures attack.
Oh, fair enough.
Then you choose what creatures block.
And I choose which creatures will block.
So all of my creatures have to attack.
All of your creatures have to attack.
If I activate an ability that causes him not to be able to attack.
You can definitely do that.
If you can activate it at instant speed.
Okay, I'm going to activate my Fiend Artisan for X is going to be 3. I'm going to tap, and I will sacrifice. I'll sacrifice the Frog Lizard since it has sickness.
Got my
I'm
frog
going
lizard
to
back.
search for a creature of X or less. So 3 or less. Put it on the battlefield. I am going to search for Yavimaya Elder. When it dies, I search my library for 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them in my hand.
And you're casting that from your graveyard?
No, I use that ability to do that.
Okay.
I just don't want to lose my Fiend Artisan. Please and thank you. And then I will come. What do you have?
I have Queen Marchesa and 2 1/1 Death Touch Assassin tokens.
Alright.
3 4/7s.
Alright, I'm coming at you with. He got a 6/6 Willowgeist, 6/6 Trample. I got a 1/1 Flyer, Flying Death Touch.
I gotta take the 1.
I would just like to say
Reclamation
that this
Sage
is the
is a
exact
2/1,
kind of move I would expect
and
from a vampire like
Stonecoil Serpent
Thomas.
is a 4/4 Trample with Reach
Okay.
and protection from multicolored.
Alright,
Okay,
so.
I'll block.
Nope.
Oh,
He gets to
yeah,
choose.
you get to choose how.
Peanut.
I have to take the 1.
Let's see here. 5/5 Willowgeist. I will have. Peanut block the Willowgeist with 2 of his 4/7 Forgotten Ancients.
Okay.
So we'll kill the Willowgeist.
Okay, when the Willowgeist dies, I will gain 5 life.
Yep. But you will keep your Forgotten Ancients.
Or 6 life because he's a 6/6.
I still have another Forgotten Ancient.
I will have your last Forgotten Ancient trade with the Stormcoil Serpent.
It's a 4
4. Oh, yep.
So I'll just kill the Stonecoil.
Yeah, so it'll get this.
Yeah, because they're all 4/7s.
No, never mind. Then I will just have Peanut take the rest.
So,
So 6, 7 total. I lose my Willowgeist. And I gain the 6 life. Up to 43. Alright. And then.
Why did Maldrotha not attack?
Because she left the battlefield and entered the battlefield this
Oh,
turn.
okay. Yep.
And I'm going
Missed
to
that.
yeah, because I killed her and then she came
Yeah.
back.
tap a swamp to equip my Skull Clamp to my Baleful Strix.
Draw 2 cards.
Killing it, drawing 2 cards. 1, 2, 3,
So
4, 5,
much
6, 7,
value.
8, 9.
Ha!
I drew these.
Good.
And I'm going to discard an island and a forest.
And that's what you get for not having a penis tower.
And I'll say go. I purposely don't have a penis tower in this deck so I can fill my graveyard up with
I
this.
suppose that's fair.
Yeah, Maldrotha wants that. Like when discarding isn't.
Just gonna play Adrix and Nev again. And I'm gonna leave the counters where they are.
Attacks.
No. I will say go.
Alright.
Oh, I became the monarch.
You did become the
I
monarch.
need to do a
Yep,
card.
sure do.
So I have to discard another card.
Ha!
So that would be a Scalding Tarn.
Good. That makes me happy.
Alright, so I will untap, I will lose a life from Phyrexian Arena and draw a card. And then I will Court of Ire trigger. I am not the monarch. Tyler, you're at 43, so it's just going to be 2 damage to your face. And then I will draw my card for the turn. I will lay my land for the turn, which will be a swamp. And then I will pay 2 for an Ornithopter of Paradise. I will pay 1, 2, 3 for a Stinkweed Imp. Oh, my apologies. I forgot that I also got another Assassin token.
Mm-hmm. And that's how many spells cast?
That is 2 spells
Okay,
cast.
so that gets me 2 more +1/+1 counters on my Forgotten Ancient.
I'm missing all kinds of triggers.
And then Tyler, I am going to send Queen Marchesa.
What is she?
Just a 3. No, I will send one of my. assassins.
I will
at
block.
you.
Could I block it?
Yep.
With the Yeti my other?
Okay. So they will trade.
And when it dies, I search my library for 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them in my hand. So here's an island and of course.
And then I will pass the turn.
Let's see what our players have to say.
Tell you the truth, we're just here to score the good magic cards and bring them back to the future.
So I kind of smashed Tom in the face with my commander for a bunch of damage for really no reason. And it was probably uncalled for, but I don't feel that bad about it. And then, I lost my commander for it, but now I'm kind of trying to keep doing the token thing, and it's just trying to find the cards to do it.
And there are many Clown Club clans in the future, of which we belong to the circus crew.
The last few turns have been pretty exciting. We're getting closer to maybe ending the game a little bit. I have everything that I think I need in place in order to make a strong finish for this game. The Forgotten Ancients are going to be an issue, but Peanut hasn't really gone off with Adrix and Nev and Volo yet, and Tom he's keeping his head above water, so I think I have a good chance going into the next few turns here, winning the game.
So Peanut came out of nowhere. That was a lot of hurt. That sucks. That puts me back. Still got a couple of things I might be able to drop, hanging the game for a little bit longer, but not super hopeful for that.
So I have one for you. When the vampires go to the circus, where's the first place they go to?
I don't know.
The jugglers. Speaking of the jugglers, how many jugglers does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know that either.
Only one, but you need 3 bulbs. Doing the best I can.
My biggest concern on the board is Tyler, because he has an engine going and is drawing so many cards and playing so many permanents. And but that's what his commander does, and she gets out of hand.
I mean, might have to blow up my own Phyrexian Arena, so that doesn't kill me. That's going to feel bad if I got to pull that. But hoping they divert a little bit more attention to themselves, because they'll think I'm a little bit more out of the game. We'll see how it goes, but not looking great, that's for sure.
The biggest concern on the board I have right now is still the Volo, Adrix, and Nev combo. It takes one creature, a couple creatures, and Adam could have a huge board state. So I got to keep that in mind. I have a board wipe in my hand if need be. Don't want to use it if I don't have to, but if I do, I'll see what kind of damage it does.
As mentioned before, we are clowns from the future. We're the trustworthy ones.
If you can't trust us, who can you trust?
Vampires? I don't think so. Don't ever go to the vampire camps. There's nothing good for you there.
Once bitten, you might die.
Nobody's dying on tonight's show. We're in the past.
My biggest thing right now is Tyler's kind of got everything set up for Muldrotha to just keep recycling everything he's got going. He can grab whatever he wants for his lands. He can get extra card draw. Once that engine gets going, it's really hard to stop. Not impossible, but that's my biggest concern right now. Peanut's got some stuff on the board, but his recovery state is going to be a lot slower than I feel like what Tyler can pull off. So, yeah, that's the threat to look out for.
I guess I could kill Tom. I mean, maybe, but still kind of feel a little bad about smashing it before.
Let's keep going, see if I can pull anything out of my butt.
Let's finish this up.
Let's get back to the game.
Alright, I'm gonna untap. For turn. Draw a card. Alright. I am then going to start my turn by
Doing some janky Muldrotha
doing
shit.
some janky Muldrotha shit.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
I'm going to tap 2 forests and my Soul Ring. And I'm going to play Greater Good.
And I'll put a counter on my Forgotten Ancients.
I'm then going to tap 2 swamps. Or here, I'll do a swamp and an island to attempt to equip Whisper So Cloak to
I
Muldrotha.
got nothing for that.
Alright. Then you're at 10, you're at 31.
31, yes, 31.
31.
Alright, I'm gonna attack you with Muldrotha
Okay, so that's gonna be
and my Stone Coil Serpent for that's 4 and 6.
alright. So I gotta take the 6 for Muldrotha. And that's 6 commander. And then how big is the serpent?
It is a 4/4 protection from multicolor.
I'll block it on a mono green Forgotten Ancient.
Alright.
And smash it.
In response, I'm going to sacrifice it to Greater Good, and I'm going to draw 4 cards.
There's a lot of problems right now. I don't want to hear it.
Sounds like shut up, peanut.
That's interesting.
What's he hearing that?
It's not what you want to hear, that's for sure.
I'm going to play... What do I got in here? I'm going to play an island out of my graveyard for my land for turn. I am then going to pay 1 for my swamp to scope my Reclamation Sage to draw 2 cards.
And all of that without casting a spell?
All of that without casting a spell.
That's ridiculous.
That's the kind of crap Muldrotha does.
Alright, let's get all them out of my way. Then I have 2 swamps left. I'm going to tap 2 and play my Dothy Voidwalker
I hope I draw a...
out of my graveyard. I did cast that as a spell. I am going to draw a card from Secrets of the Dead. And then I will end my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Draw a card for Monarch.
Oh, and draw a card for Monarch. 17. So I'm going to discard a Llanowar Waves, a Vinglimmer Snarl, Rejuvenating Springs, a Flooded Grove, a Forest, an Island. 10, 11. A Calming Heart Expedition, Rotting Regisaur, and an Arcane Signet. I have 8 cards I still have to discard, so I will discard my 3 visits.
I don't need any of this ramp anymore.
And I will pass the turn.
Okay, so I will untap, and at the beginning of my upkeep, I'm gonna take all 9 counters off of all 3 of my Forgotten Ancients, and I'm gonna put 27 counters on Adrix and Nev.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Holy hell.
It's a very large Adrix and Nev.
That's one that I don't think I can block the commander damage of.
I definitely can't.
Maybe I might as well play this. I'll play a Guardian Augmenter, and that'll give him another +2/+2. And then, Tyler, I'm going to smash you for 29 command damage.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it because I can only block 3 of it. Is it trample?
Yup.
Well, alright, I'm dead.
And I become the Monarch?
You
Yeah,
become the
you
monarch.
definitely become the monarch.
And that's unexiled in your graveyard. Wow.
So that was out of nowhere.
And then I'll say go and draw a card for the Monarch.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna
I
untap.
got a +1/+1 counter on him from my Augmented. Guardian Augmenter.
Gonna lose a life and draw a card from my Phyrexian Arena. And then I will draw a card for turn. Because I am not the monarch, I will get another assassin creature token. And my Court of Ire is going to do 2 damage to. Well, just do it to your face.
Okay. 2 to the face.
Alright. So. I am going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will play a Shadrix Silver Quill.
Shadrach Silver Quill, legendary creature, Elder Dragon, flying, double strike. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may choose 2. Each mode must target a different player. Target player creates a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. Target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Target player puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control.
In response, I will pay 3, and I'm going to cast Theoretical Duplication, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control this turn, create a token copy.
Sure.
And
Happens.
I will get 2 Shadrixes, but one of them will die immediately because I can't have 2 of them. He's a 2/5.
Yes. 2/5 flying double strike.
That is my 2/5 Shadrix token.
And then I will tap 1. And I will play a Figure of Destiny.
And I will get a Figure of Destiny. But I will get 2 Figures of Destiny.
Alright. I'm gonna have to move to combat for Shadrix's trigger. I am going to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control.
Fair enough.
And then
No, and that's 2 spells, so that's 2 more counters on those guys.
Peanut, you can lose a life and draw a card because I'm going to give you 2 tokens for no reason.
No, aw, come on now.
No, that would be silly. And then,
Your Ornithopter of Paradise.
oh, thank you. I always forget that's a creature. I just treat it like a mana rock.
That's fair.
And then unfortunately, I am going to pass the turn.
Okay, so I will untap everything. I will draw a card. So I'm going to play a blue, and 4, and I'm going to play Curse of Swine.
Curse of the Swine. Sorcery. Another imminent battle subsided in busy snuffling and carefree rooting. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token.
I'm going to exile 4 creatures. And so I will exile Shadrix, Stink, and 2 of the Death Touch guys.
They are exiled.
And you get 4 2/2 green boar creature tokens.
Four pigs. There we go. There are the pigs you have forced upon me.
And then I will say go, because I can't attack you yet. I don't have enough to get through all of that with your Death Touch guys.
Do you trample?
Yeah, but...
I mean...
Oh, I suppose you're only at whatever.
Also, you're missing your Shadrix triggers.
Oh. Okay, so I move to combat, and I'll attack with Shadrix, and I'll put a counter on everything.
What are you giving me?
What do I have the choices of?
It is put a +1/+1 counter on each creature a player controls, get a 2/1 white and
You
black.
can draw a card and lose a life.
Sure. So I will lose a life, draw a card, and you are attacking me
With a 32/32 Adrix and Nev.
and the Shadrix.
And the Shadrix.
Okay. So in response to your attack, I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to cast Ink Shield.
Okay.
And I'm going to prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to me this turn.
Okay.
And for each one combat damage prevented this way, I'm going to create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying.
Ain't that something? So 32, 30,
34.
34. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to get
Tom would do something
34
like that.
2/1
What a
Inkling
vampire.
tokens. So I'm just going to set a 2.
Well,
One.
the tables have turned.
And then
Tom just prevented so much damage, and now he gets so many
34
tokens.
represents the total number of them.
Wow.
I'll say go, and
Alright, so
I think you win the game.
Tom wins, basically.
I'm going to untap. I'm going to lose a life from Phyrexian Arena, going to 7, drawing a card. And then I will draw a card for my turn. My Court of Ire trigger, I will do 2 damage to Peanut's face.
I think we've spotted a vampire.
Get an assassin creature token because I am not
If
the
it walks
monarch.
like a vampire and talks like a vampire,
And
It's a vampire.
you know what they say.
then, yeah, I am just going to go ahead
And smash me in the face
And
with a bunch of flyers.
everything
Yeah.
I have sideways at Peanut.
Yep, that is absolutely enough to kill me. No matter how I block. Flyers, right? 34 flyers?
34 2-power flyers.
Yeah, I'm definitely dead. I can't do anything about that yet, so yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I will take that all day. Okay, so I'm going to have 34 2/1s in the air.
Okay, what's
so
coming
that is
on
going to
the-
be a total of 68 damage in the air that you can't block.
Okay, so I'm definitely taking that 68.
Yep. On the ground, I have 4 2/2s, a 2/2 Figure of Destiny, a 4/4 Queen Marchesa,
One.
Alright.
1 2/2 Assassin, and 1 1/1 Assassin. And I don't know why I tapped the Ornithopter of Paradise. That's not attacking.
Alright, so I'll block Queen Marchesa on a Forgotten Ancient,
Okay, and they will trade.
and they will trade. I will block I'll block 2 more 2/2s on 2 more Forgotten Ancients. I'll block another 2/2 on a Guardian Augmenter, and I'll trade. And then I'll block another 2/2 on a Volo, and I'll trade.
Which will leave the Figure of Destiny.
And
two
I'll
assassins.
block an Assassin and a Figure of Destiny, each on my Figures of Destiny.
Assuming you're blocking the 2/2 assassin.
Yes.
So that will leave a singular 1/1 assassin, that will leave the singular assassin and 34 2/1s for
I'm still
69.
so dead.
69 damage.
So dead.
Nice.
Yeah, that was something else. Yeah. Ouch.
Wow. Nailed it.
And it looks like Tom really snuck off this win. The Bant -1 episode was really anybody's game. Tom pulled it off and will walk away victorious as our MTG Casual Commander winner tonight.
And now Tom gets to pull a mystery ball from the MTG Casual Commander chest.
The winner of each Casual Commander battle will get to draw a colored orb from the winner's chest. Each colored orb represents one Magic the Gathering set booster pack. If a player retrieves the Tangelo colored orb, that player may pick any 2 set boosters of their choosing.
Try and do this without looking at it.
What color did you get?
Green.
Strixhaven booster. At least it's a good set.
Strixhaven was a really good set. There's
It is a good set.
a lot of fun cards for Commander. Not a lot of useless crap, which is always nice.
It does have some good commons and uncommons in it as well.
And, bookmarks.
Yep, that's what I use them for. Island. What else? No, see them one at a time.
Mercurial Transformation.
Nah.
Yeah, that's alright. Expel, that one's actually nice. Golden Ratio, not
That's a good
terrible.
card.
Quandrix Apprentice, that mediocre.
Not even in that thing.
Quandrix Cultivator.
That one's not
That's
bad.
not bad, actually. Emergent Sequence, I actually like that one. Search for a basic land, then you get to make a fractal.
I mean,
The land
I
turns into a
guess.
fractal.
Good
not
Matrix
horrible.
and Nev deck.
Yeah.
Kelpie Guide.
I mean, can't be
I
made.
like Kelpie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
Fine.
one. Ooh.
Culling Ritual, that one's nice. Gotta like a board wipe that gives you mana afterwards.
Luckiest cocksucker on the
double
planet.
rare. Dean of Perfection / Dean of Expression.
And an archive cultivate.
Look at that.
And
And a Lorehold Apprentice that's nice and shiny. That's a nice
actually
artwork
a
right
pretty
there.
good booster.
I do
Yeah.
like
Luckiest
That's-
cocksucker on the planet, I swear to God.
No, that's your brother still.
Oh, well, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But, not gonna say no to that.
Let's go ahead and take a final look at the scoreboard and see where all of our players have landed.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard and declare some victors. The Destroyer. This title is given to the player with the most permanent removal through combat damage, destroy, and exile spells and abilities.
And Peanut removing 15 permanents will bring him to the top of our list in our number 2 spot, tying Benny J for the Destroyer title.
Casual Commander title unlocked. Quick Draw. This title is awarded to the player that draws the most cards over the Casual Commander season.
Tyler takes the lead with 36 cards drawn.
Casual Commander title unlocked. The masochist is the person who pays the most of their life during the Casual Commander season.
Tyler will take the number 1 spot, and there's Benny J.
Landlubber. The Landlubber title will be bestowed upon the player that has the most land drops in the season.
And Tyler's gonna knock Alex down a peg. He'll be taking the number 1 spot in our Landlubber category with 12 lands played.
The Architect. This title is rewarded to the player that creates the most non-creature, non-land permanents within the season.
Lola will be keeping this title.
The Horde Raiser. The Casual Commander Horde Raiser title goes to the player that has the most creatures and creature tokens played throughout the season.
Tom played a whopping 49 creatures this battle, and he's going to be taking our Horde Raiser title.
Casual Commander title unlocked. The Witch Doctor. The Witch Doctor title will be awarded to the player who gains the most life during the Casual Commander season.
And it looks like Josh is going to keep that Witch Doctor title for now.
The Beat Sack. The title of Beat Sack will be given to the player that receives the most damage within the Casual Commander season.
Peanut got really close to winning the Beat Sack Award with 83 damage taken, but no outdoing Josh's ultimate beating.
The Mad Mage. This title and award will be enchanted onto the player that does the most damage over the Casual Commander season.
Peanut will be taking the lead in our Mad Mage category with 123 total damage this game.
Casual Commander title unlocked. The Mill Master. This title will be handed to the player that mills the most cards and or makes other players discard the most cards in this season.
Pete will remain the MTG Casual Commander Mill Master.
Spell Slinger. The Spell Slinger title will be attached to the player that casts the most instant and sorcery spells within the Casual Commander season.
Peanut got really close, but Dashner is going to keep the number 1 spot in our Spell Slinger category.
Casual Commander title unlocked. The Cutthroat. The Cutthroat is the player who sacrifices the most of their own creatures throughout the season.
And Lola is going to remain our Cutthroat champion.
The Player Killer. Kill the most players to win this title.
and Benny J is going to hang on to the Playa Killa title.
Casual Commander title unlocked. Finally, Lieutenant. The player that wins the most rare and mythic cards during the season will be awarded the Lieutenant title.
Benny J won't be letting go of the Lieutenant title anytime soon.
Tune in next time to discover new players, updated scoreboards, and new title holders.
All right, so that's all the time we have for you on this episode of MTG Casual Commander. See more episodes right here on YouTube, or you can check out our Casual Commander quickies on any of the social medias.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Casual Commander has been brought to you by Mock Digital Media, Dizzy Course Studios, and these fine people. Remember, at Casual Commander, we get by with a little help from our friends. Just so YouTube doesn't think we suck, please subscribe, trample that like button, and if you dare, comment below. Just so you know, we read every single one of them. Thank you, and may the magic continue. We'll see you next time on MTG Casual Commander.